In the future, AI-powered humanoid robots could work in factories assembling other humanoid robots. The idea of self-replicating robots is moving from science fiction to the real world as investors pour billions into the emerging market. Among the companies leading the charge is Texas-based Apptronik, which aims to eventually employ its Apollo humanoids to assemble other Apollo humanoids. If that happens, these are the hands that could be used on the production line. The Ability Hand, developed by PSYONIC, wasn't originally intended for robotics. But now, the breakthrough in prosthetic technology, which you might have seen on Shark Tank, is uniquely situated within two rapidly expanding and increasingly competitive niches. The fusion of AI-driven prosthetics and humanoid robotics could shape the future of work and even space exploration. Adil Akhtar was inspired to get into prosthetics at age 7 after meeting a young girl with a missing leg using a tree branch as a crutch during a visit to Pakistan in 1994. Early work on what would become the Ability Hand began around 2010 during actor studies at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. The graduate student was focused on motor control and sensory feedback at the time. By 2013, he collaborated with Patrick Slade, a senior studying mechanical science and engineering, to enhance the design of a 3D printed prosthetic hand. In 2014, actor traveled to Ecuador, where he and his team tested an early prototype of the Bionic hand on a patient. Using the prosthetic, the patient was able to make a pinch for the first time since he lost his hand 35 years prior.
We're PSYONIC. We develop advanced, neurally controlled prosthetic hands at 10 times less cost than the state-of-the-art.
PSYONIC officially launched as a startup in 2015, securing $25,000 in funding after winning first place in the COSID New Venture Challenge.
And we want to actually make these prosthetics feel like a natural extension of their body.
To do that, they're making the prosthetics themselves feel. It's called sensory feedback.
How about now?
Yeah.
So go ahead and you can play around with that.
So if I... Oh, that's wild.
During this era, Apptronik's origin began as a team of roboticists at the University of Texas at Austin collaborated with NASA for the DARPA Robotics Challenge. The human-centered robotics lab's work included development of early prototypes of NASA's Valkyrie humanoid robot for space missions.
We wanted something that had legs, that could possibly walk on another planet, that could interact with humans in a gravity situation.
They were so inspired, the researchers founded Apptronik to develop highly adaptable robotic systems. In the late 2010s, Apptronik experimented with exoskeletons, humanoid torsos, robotic arms, and mobility platforms. In 2021, the Ability Hand became available publicly within the United States. It was the first multi-touch sensitive bionic hand on the market. Weighing approximately 470 grams, it's about 20% lighter than the average person's hand.
So the Ability Hand is myoelectric. This means that it is controlled by the electrical signals that are generated by my muscle contractions. There are electrodes that are embedded in my socket, and they touch either side of my arm. So these are what read my muscle signals and communicate to the hand to either open or close.
The hand attaches to a prosthetic socket using a quick disconnect wrist. With its integrated sensors, the Ability Hand detects pressure during object manipulation, providing feedback to the user. All 5 fingers can flex and extend, with the thumb capable of both electrical and manual rotation. Each finger is designed to withstand blunt force impacts. It's also resistant to spills and splashes, but can't be fully submerged like a human hand. Its closing speed of 200 milliseconds makes it the fastest bionic hand on the market. It takes just an hour to fully charge the hand via USB-C for 6 to 8 hours of use. By 2022, NASA and Meta started using the Ability Hand for robotics research. Apptronik was also on a tear, building a fully electric humanoid prototype in under 12 weeks. This was before Tesla introduced its first Optimus humanoid robot prototype. As both companies garnered new levels of exposure in 2023, their paths merged. During the IEEE Robotics and Automation Conference, they showcased the Ability Hands integration with Apollo. PSYONIC appeared on Shark Tank in 2024, receiving a $1 million offer from Lori Greiner, Damon John, and Kevin O'Leary. Around the same time, Apptronik was piloting its Apollo humanoids with Mercedes-Benz.
Meet Apollo, your new robot coworker. He's designed to work alongside humans in a factory and help alleviate taxing and physical labor.
Apptronik collaborated with Argo Design for the humanoid's aesthetics. They initially pitched Apollo as the iPhone of humanoid robots. Standing 1.7 meters or 5 feet 8 inches, Apollo weighs 73 kilos or 160 pounds. It can lift up to 25 kilos or 55 pounds, which suits it for manual tasks in factories, warehouses, and eventually households. Apollo robots operate for roughly 4 hours on a single swappable battery pack. Apptronik says the robot's unique force control architecture ensures safe operation around humans, similar to industrial cobots.
How far you are away from, us all dealing with robots?
Well, I think everybody wants to know when the robots are going to do our laundry. That's the number one question I get. So it's going to be a few years for that. So largely, these robots are going to be separated away from humans, working on pretty routine, repetitive tasks. And as the robots get better and we start to solve safety, they become more affordable, they'll start to enter the home.
After securing $350 million in Series A funding backed by Google, B Capital, and Capital Factory, Apptronik is moving toward mass production. The company is partnering with Jabil, a global manufacturing, engineering, and supply chain services provider. As part of the agreement, newly manufactured Apollo robots will perform tasks on Jabil sites, including inspections, sorting, kitting, line-side delivery, fixture placement, and sub-assembly. At the same time, Jabil will work with Apptronik to scale production of its humanoids at its facilities. They're hoping the effort culminates in Apollo robots building other Apollo robots on the production line. They're racing ahead as competition heats up daily. In the United States, Apptronik is up against Silicon Valley startup Figure, which says its new self-developed AI system called Helix is a breakthrough that enables the mass deployment of autonomous humanoids in industry and households. Agility Robotics, which emerged from Oregon State University, is producing humanoids from its factory as it develops the next-generation version of its flagship robot, Digit. Tesla plans to manufacture up to 10,000 Optimus humanoid robots by the end of 2025, but Elon Musk has admitted the target is aspirational. And a slew of AI-driven humanoids are emerging from China, where President Xi has called for scaling production of the robots in 2025 and ruling the emerging market by 2027. PSYONIC featured Apollo prominently when it introduced the latest iteration of the Ability Hand. The startup says the new and improved hand features a tougher build and touchscreen-ready design. They call the Ability Hand more durable and adaptable than ever for both humans and robots. That means someone with an Ability Hand could one day lend their Apollo humanoid a hand, literally. PSYONIC's dual market strategy puts it in a powerful but challenging position. If it can scale effectively and keep innovating, the Ability Hand could become a go-to brand for both prosthetic and robotic hands. But competition will only intensify on both fronts. Sanctuary AI, for example, is touting its new robotic hand for precise tasks that's shown here, integrated with the Canadian startup's Phoenix humanoid robot. For more on that, check the related video.